It's been a couple months since I've posted a video, and I just have not been shooting very much because it's been so cold. I just haven't really felt like it. It's February 8th, Sunday, February 8th, 2026. The weather today doesn't look very nice right now, but it's gonna get up in the 60s today. So it's gonna be really nice. What I wanted to do this year, I wanted to maybe try a different arrow just for the fun of it. Originally, when I started with traditional, I shot the 5mm Axis. That's what I have here, a 400 spine. I really like this arrow because it's heavy grains per inch overall. The 400 gets pretty heavy, so I'm gonna try to make 200 total grains up front work, which that means I have a 150 tip and then a 50 grain insert, a hit insert, so 200 total up front. I like to start with a bare shaft, of course, so I could see what the just raw flight is, and then when you add feathers to it, it should make it even better. But I'll start full length, which this is 31 inches. Hopefully it'll shoot weak, it should. And then my bow here is the Black Widow PCH, 56 inches, 46 pounds at 26 with carbon limbs. I do know my Safari Tufts, the 400 works great, but I have about 275 up front total typically. I want to try to make this Axis work, just try something a little different this year maybe. But today I'm just going to get recalibrated since I haven't shot in a while. Actually, what I should do, I'm going to do some warm-up shots before I shoot that bare shaft. Because it is a little chilly this morning, but not terrible, about 46 degrees. There's a big hole through that deer vital, so the white foam, I think that's like dock foam, catches my arrows if I shoot them through the hole there. Actually feels pretty good this morning. Okay, pretty good. Arm's a little tired, but we'll make it work. All right, now that I've warmed up, I'm gonna start shooting the bare shaft. Usually just do it by sight. Since this is full length, I figured I should be able to see it, but I'm actually gonna have my husband slow motion video it from behind with an iPhone. Here you go. And he'll just go right above my head. Let me know when you're ready. Will you do a horizontal? Yeah, like that.
Okay.
Okay. You might not be able to see it in that slow-mo, but because the quality is not super good in slow motion, but the arrow did go a little bit weak. I was hoping to go quite a bit more than that, but I'm gonna try cutting an inch off of that arrow and then shooting it again. It should straighten it out a little bit more and hopefully not make it too stiff, but we'll see. What I did is I actually added 25 grains to the insert, so I'm at 75 grain hit insert, 150 tip, so 25 grains heavier on the tip. And then I cut it down an inch, and I'm actually at 30.5 inches now. And then I'm gonna do a slow-mo here. You ready? Yep. And I went right through the hole. That arrow, I don't know if you could tell, but it was a little weak still, just barely. What I'm going to do is cut a 1/2 inch off the front again, keep the same front weight, and then I'm gonna fletch it up because that will also stiffen it just a little bit, and I'm just gonna see how the fletch shaft does with grouping, and look at that. what I did, I haven't fletched it yet. I want to look at it 1/2 inch shorter. So I just cut off a 1/2 inch. Arrow weight's at 508, which is pretty good. That hit where I was looking too. So it shoots through this hole here, and that's why it was behind there. I promise I didn't miss. Not that it matters, but this flew absolutely perfectly straight. I usually like to leave a bear shaft a little weak just because when you add the feathers on the back, that adds a little weight, which does stiffen it, but I'm not doing a wrap, so I think I'll be perfectly fine. The arrow weight is gonna be great, I think. It's a little longer of an arrow than I like. I usually like being around 29 inches. Right now it's at 30 inches. Not a big deal. My point on will change probably significantly, but I'm not totally sure yet. I'm gonna fletch it up now. I actually have, luckily I saved 5 raw shafts of these 400, so I'll be able to fletch up 5 of them and just group tune them. And then what I could do is go to paper and really fine tune it. I used to not paper tune, but I took the Trad Lab course by Cody Greenwood and Matt Zernzak, and that really changed my mind about paper tuning. It's a really good way to fine tune. Cody actually spoke at the United Bowhunters Festival last night. It was incredible. I've learned so much from him, but I'm gonna do that, fletch him up and then do some paper tuning. I'll fine tune it with my brace height, which he teaches at. Works amazing. So I have 4 of them fletched up, still fletching the 5th. I'm gonna shoot these in groups and just kind of check arrow flight and see how they group. But now I'm just gonna shoot and see what happens. And I do feather to the nose, so I do need to rotate these how I like to orientate them. It's still a little wet, but I'm actually only gonna shoot 2 because I don't want to get glue on me. But they are shooting good. This is 20 yards too, by the way. So I'm gonna also check my gaps. I'll move back. I'm curious what my point on will be with this arrow weight in length. Right now 20 is really nice. It's I'm putting the tip right on the belly, which is really easy to aim with. Yeah, that's perfect. 20 is absolutely perfect for gap. I'm gonna move back to probably 25 and see what happens there. Here is 25. I'm kind of jumping back. I'm gonna just put the tip of my arrow on the spot I want to hit, and I'll just see where it impacts. Yeah, I think that's my point on. That one's a little high left, I think. Doing 25 again. That second arrow is actually still in the 10 ring, like just barely high left. So I still think that would be my point on. It's a good one. Yeah, 25 is my point on. That's perfect. Serosep's working good. And then I bet 30 I'd be just above the back. I kind of want to shoot this through paper now and just see what it looks like. Okay, I shot through paper. This is my first shot, which is absolutely perfect. Second shot, wasn't a good release. And then third shot, maybe, yeah, I mean, that's super good. It might be slightly not right, but nothing I'm gonna worry about. So that's absolutely perfect. That just gives me the confidence that my arrow is flying perfectly straight. I did that at 6 feet, and I could do it again at 3 feet, double check everything. This is the last one at 3 feet, and it's maybe slight left, knock left, but again, nothing to worry about. I'm going with that and gonna shoot groups and figure out my gaps for certain. This particular arrow build turned out to be super easy. It doesn't always happen that way, but for some reason, everything came together pretty perfectly. On the arrow, the specs ended up being a 30-inch arrow carbon to carbon, 150 grain tip, and a 75 grain head insert. Total arrow weight was 518 grains. I pull 46 pounds, so that comes to about 11.3 grains per pound, which I always found to be perfect, especially for whitetail. But I feel with this setup, I could hunt anything pretty much in North America and be good. The bullet hole, that is something new I incorporated, and I learned it from Cody Greenwood, Matt Zernzak in the Push seminar course. But that paper tune works so good just to finalize your tune and give you that extra confidence. I know with that bullet hole that my arrow is flying perfectly straight, because that paper tune really is a micro adjustment, something you couldn't really see by eye. So I know on impact my arrow, the stiffness of my arrow is perfect. So on impact, there's gonna be no flex in that arrow. It's gonna just penetrate through as perfectly as possible. If it is a little bit weak, Cody actually showed this last night in the seminar, you'll actually see a little bit of snakiness on impact if it's a little weak. So that paper tuning that he talks about is awesome. Really like doing that. Now the rest of the day, I'm just gonna probably shoot one arrow at a time and just work on my execution since I'm kind of getting dialed back in. Back in November, once we filled our buck tags in Missouri, we shot a little 3D course. My husband filmed me shooting it, so I'll go ahead and put that video at the end of this and just kind of show some of those shots. But that was back in November, so my setup was a little bit different, but might be fun to watch. I'm gonna do one more arrow here and call it good for this portion of the video. This should be about 23 yards. And the goats, I'm gonna shoot over them. It'll be okay. They do not jump vertically. Perfect, right through that hole in the deer. All right, well, thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of the video. $17-yarder. A little high.
Smoked him.
I guess I should say what we're doing right now. We're gonna hunt tonight. It's we only have doe tags right now until gun season, which is in about a week. So we're gonna try to get some does this week. And we're just shooting this course this morning to get warmed up. Make sure we're getting that mid-season practice in. I'm gonna shoot this one off the ground. Going for the bear. I nicked that one, didn't I? It still hit good though. Good boy. I'm gonna try to come behind me now. Sorry to boss you around. I'm gonna try to shoot through these trees right here. Narrow opening. A little high. I'm trying to make my shot a little bit quicker when I practice, because in hunting I don't need to hold, any longer than I need, but pretty good.